People think Las Vegas is all about neon lights, cheap flights, and the thrill of escaping reality for a weekend. They picture jackpots ringing, pool parties raging, and a city that never sleeps. But the real story is something most people don't notice until they experience it themselves. Vegas no longer feels like the getaway it once was. The Strip that used to promise freedom now feels more like a maze of hidden fees, inflated prices, and empty casino floors. Families who once saved up for a trip here are shocked when they realize the cost of a single weekend rivals a mortgage payment. Workers who built this city's reputation are stretched thin, while corporations chase profits at the expense of the very magic that made Vegas legendary. Today, we're breaking down why Vegas no longer feels like a getaway. It's not just about rising hotel rates or expensive drinks. It's about a deeper shift in the city's identity. The glitz is still there, but behind it lies a story of economics, policy, and survival that most visitors never see until they're already caught in it. And once you notice it, you can't unsee it. If you've ever stepped off the plane in Las Vegas expecting that rush of excitement, the feeling that you've left your worries behind and entered a playground of lights, music, and freedom, only to realize within hours that something feels off, you're not imagining it. Thousands of people are noticing the same thing. Tourists who once bragged about cheap buffets and affordable hotel deals now find themselves staring at receipts that look more like luxury invoices. A simple breakfast for two can run you $50. A poolside cocktail, $25. And that's before the hidden resort fees, parking charges, and surcharges that seem to appear everywhere. If you felt that sting, you're not alone. Consumers who used to see Vegas as the place where money stretched further, where you could gamble, eat, and party without breaking the bank, are now realizing the city has flipped the script. Instead of being the affordable escape, it's become a destination where every transaction feels like a test of how much you can endure. People talk about it in hushed tones on flights home. It wasn't the same. It didn't feel like a getaway. Middle-class families who once saved up for a Vegas weekend are now questioning whether it's worth it. Imagine a couple from Ohio who planned their anniversary trip, expecting the same magic they experienced 10 years ago. They arrive, only to find their hotel bill doubled by fees, their favorite restaurant charging triple, and the casino floor eerily empty compared to the buzzing energy they remembered. They look at each other and wonder, did we make a mistake coming here? That moment of doubt is becoming more common. First-time visitors, too, are noticing it. For decades, Vegas was sold as the ultimate bucket list trip. But now, newcomers walk the Strip and feel a strange disconnect. The lights are still dazzling, but the vibe is different. They sense the tension in service workers stretched thin, the emptiness in certain casinos, the way every attraction seems designed to squeeze just a little more money out of them. Instead of feeling welcomed, they feel processed. If you've ever felt that the magic of Vegas is fading, you're not imagining it. The city that once promised escape now feels like it's demanding more than it gives. And that recognition, that gut feeling that something has changed, is shared by thousands of tourists, consumers, middle-class families, and first-time visitors alike. Think about the last time you walked into a casino expecting energy, only to find rows of empty tables and dealers waiting for players who never came. Or the moment you realized your hotel room, though beautiful, came with a bill padded by fees you didn't anticipate. Or when you tried to grab a quick meal and ended up spending more than you would at a fine dining restaurant back home. These aren't isolated experiences. They're part of a larger pattern. Tourists whisper about it on social media. Vegas doesn't feel the same. Consumers write reviews warning others, be prepared for sticker shock. Middle-class families share stories of cutting trips short because the costs piled up too quickly. First-time visitors leave wondering if the hype was exaggerated. And here's the most important part. You're not alone in feeling this way. The recognition is spreading. People from every background, whether they came for a bachelor party, a family getaway, or a convention, are noticing the same cracks in the Vegas illusion. The city that once thrived on making visitors feel like royalty now leaves many feeling like they've been drained. This isn't about nostalgia, it's about reality. The Vegas of today is different from the Vegas of yesterday, and the people who experience it firsthand are the ones sounding the alarm. If you've ever felt that disconnect, that sense that the getaway isn't what it used to be, you're part of a growing chorus. And that chorus is getting louder. Because when thousands of people share the same experience, when tourists, consumers, middle-class families, and first-time visitors all walk away saying, "It didn't feel like a getaway." It's not just personal perception, it's a collective truth. And that truth is reshaping how America sees Las Vegas. The question now is, if so many people feel it, why is it happening? And what does it mean for the future of the city that once defined escape? The answers are bigger than you think. For decades, Las Vegas was known as America's ultimate escape. The promise was simple. You could fly in on a budget, check into a hotel without breaking the bank, and spend a weekend living larger than life. The deal was clear. Vegas gave you more than you paid for. Cheap buffets, discounted rooms, free drinks while you gambled, and entertainment that felt like a bargain compared to anywhere else in the country. It was the city where the middle class could feel like high rollers, even if only for a few days. That was the old Vegas, the getaway that thrived on volume, on welcoming millions of tourists who wanted to stretch their dollars and walk away with stories they'd tell for years. The Strip was built on the idea that anyone could come here and feel like royalty. But somewhere along the way, the rules quietly changed. The neon lights still glow, the fountains still dance, and the casinos still buzz. But the underlying deal is different. What was once about giving visitors more for less has shifted into a model of extracting more from every single guest. The free perks have faded, the cheap meals are gone, and the hidden fees have multiplied. Take the hotels. Decades ago, you could book a room for $50 a night and feel like you'd scored a luxury deal. Today, the same room might cost 3 times as much, plus a resort fee, plus parking, plus taxes. The advertised price is no longer the real price. That's the quiet change, the fine print that turns a getaway into a financial burden. Food and drink tell the same story. Buffets that once symbolized Vegas value have either disappeared or transformed into high-end dining experiences with price tags to match. A cocktail that used to cost $5 now runs $20. A simple breakfast can rival the cost of a dinner back home. The promise of indulgence without guilt has been replaced by sticker shock. Even the casino floors have shifted. Once they were designed to keep you playing with free drinks, low minimums, and a sense of fun. Now, minimum bets are higher, comps are harder to earn, and the vibe feels more transactional. The thrill of gambling has been overshadowed by the sense that the house is squeezing every possible dollar out of you. Tourists notice it immediately. They arrive expecting the Vegas of old, the getaway where you could live big for a small price, and instead find themselves calculating every expense. Consumers who once saw Vegas as the place where money stretched further now feel like they're being drained faster than anywhere else. Middle-class families who saved for months to afford a trip discover that their budget barely covers the basics. First-time visitors, lured by the legend of Vegas, walk away wondering if the hype was exaggerated. The reality is that Vegas has rebranded itself without saying it out loud. The city that once promised escape now operates like a luxury destination, catering to high spenders while leaving average visitors feeling shortchanged. The old value, more fun for less money, has been replaced by a new equation, more cost for less experience. And yet, the illusion remains. The lights, the shows, the energy, they all mask the shift. That's why so many people don't notice until they're already here, already paying the bills, already realizing that the getaway doesn't feel like a getaway anymore. This context matters because it explains the disconnect people feel. Vegas didn't lose its magic overnight. It changed its rules quietly, gradually, until the promise no longer matched the reality. And now, thousands of visitors are waking up to that truth. The question isn't whether Vegas is still exciting. It is. The question is whether it still delivers on the deal it built its reputation on. And for many, the answer is no. The getaway has become a transaction. The promise has been rewritten. And the city that once gave more than it took now feels like it's taking more than it gives. That's the context. That's the setup. And it's why so many people walk away from Vegas today saying the same thing. It didn't feel like a getaway. On the surface, you see hotel bills padded with resort fees, parking charges, and service surcharges. But that's just the symptom. Behind the scenes, the hidden cause is corporate restructuring. Vegas hotels no longer rely on cheap rooms to lure gamblers. They've shifted to a model where every guest transaction is monetized. This isn't random. It's designed to maximize revenue streams beyond the casino floor. For visitors, this means sticker shock at every turn. For locals, it means fewer affordable options to enjoy their own city. For corporations, it means profit margins that look healthier on paper, even if guest satisfaction quietly erodes. On the surface, you see understaffed restaurants and long waits for basic services. But that's just the symptom. Behind the scenes, the hidden cause is labor cost management. Companies cut staffing to reduce expenses, betting that guests will tolerate slower service. This isn't random. It's a calculated decision to protect bottom lines. For visitors, this means frustration and diminished experiences. For locals, it means fewer stable jobs and heavier workloads. For corporations, it means leaner operations and higher efficiency ratios. On the surface, you see empty casino floors and fluctuating midweek occupancy. But that's just the symptom. Behind the scenes, the hidden cause is tourism shifts. Vegas is increasingly dependent on conventions, high-spending events, and elite clientele. This isn't random. It's a deliberate pivot away from mass tourism toward targeted demographics. For visitors, this means the city feels hollow unless you're there for a major event. For locals, it means unpredictable work schedules and reliance on seasonal surges. For corporations, it means higher yields during peak weekends, even if weekdays look like ghost towns. These loops repeat across every angle: fees, staffing, ownership, tourism. The surface problems are visible, but the hidden causes are systemic, and the consequences are uneven, draining visitors, straining locals, and enriching corporations. Let's look at hotel pricing. What it used to represent: affordable entry into luxury. A $50 room gave you access to pools, casinos, and entertainment. What it represents now: a premium product layered with hidden fees. The advertised rate is just the starting point. Why it changed: business logic shifted from gambling revenue to diversified streams. Hotels realized they could monetize every guest interaction. This isn't a failure, it's a business decision. Let's look at buffets. What they used to represent: the symbol of Vegas value, endless food at a low price. What they represent now: either vanished or transformed into upscale dining experiences. Why it changed: rising food costs and a push to reposition Vegas as a luxury destination. This isn't a failure, it's a business decision. Let's look at tourism trends. What they used to represent: mass tourism, families, and middle-class visitors filling the Strip. What they represent now: targeted events, conventions, and elite clientele. Why it changed: corporations realized high-spending guests generate more profit than volume tourism. This isn't a failure, it's a business decision. Here's the part nobody says out loud: Vegas isn't failing, it's optimizing. The city isn't broken, it's redesigned for elite users. Rising costs aren't accidental, they're filters. By pricing out casual visitors, Vegas is curating its audience. The Getaway isn't disappearing, it's being redefined for those who can afford it. This changes how we think about Vegas. It's not the mass market playground it once was. It's evolving into a luxury hub where conventions, high rollers, and premium events dominate. The empty casino floors midweek aren't signs of collapse, they're signs of segmentation. Vegas doesn't want everyone all the time. It wants the right people at the right times. Think about it: resort fees, higher minimum bets, expensive dining, they all serve as filters. They separate casual tourists from high-value guests. The city is no longer chasing volume, it's chasing yield. For corporations, this is optimization. For visitors, it feels like exclusion. For locals, it means fewer opportunities to enjoy their own city. But strategically, it's a pivot toward sustainability in a market where costs keep rising. Vegas isn't dying, It's evolving, and once you see it through that lens, the entire narrative changes. So the real question is, if Vegas is no longer designed for everyone, what does that mean for the future of the Getaway? If you've experienced Vegas recently, tell me in the comments. Did it feel like the old version, the city of cheap thrills and endless fun? Or did it feel like something different, something more exclusive, more filtered? Your perspective matters, because the story of Vegas isn't just about corporations or policies. It's about how ordinary people experience the city. Subscribe for more deep dives like this, where we break down the hidden forces shaping the places you thought you knew. The lights may still shine, but the truth behind them is bigger than you think.